raised expectations too high.
Well, I actually have not. You know, you have raised, you know, you know what we expect. You know, not just a war film, but an action film. So congratulations with all the accolades this year. Well deserved.
Well, thank you very much.
You know, what's amazing to me about the journey for the Hurt Locker is that almost a year plus ago, you know, I was at the Ryerson Theater in Toronto, and you know, tell us a little bit about, you know, this past year and a half, this journey you've been in.
It's been exhilarating and gratifying and thrilling and surprising, extremely surprising. I mean, this is a tough little war film about an extremely unpopular war, and it just seems to keep gathering a kind of momentum, you know, and I just can only imagine that it's touching a nerve because people's curiosity is growing about this conflict, and it's an underreported conflict, and I think this is an opportunity to have some glimpse of what maybe is going on. So
you speak about the momentum that this film has been gathering. When do you get an understanding that this is just, you know, gathering this momentum?
When do I don't know.
I mean, because this film, you know, was released. You know, it was almost not going to be released the year before, and then it changed releases, and it just keeps, you know, getting more accolades and building. It's the little film that could.
Well, it certainly has. You know, it's in a fairly competitive field, I would say. Yeah, I don't know how to. I mean, how does one anticipate something like that? That you know, and putting a magnifying lens on a hellish situation could somehow, again, as I said, kind of touch such a nerve. I don't know how you anticipate something like that. You know, that it seems to be resonating.
And what do you think? Do you have any idea why it's resonating so much?
Well, again, I think because this, personally, I think it's if I can just speak for myself, I think this conflict is really abstract, and I think we don't understand. It's a war of bombs. What does that mean? These are IEDs, EOD. You know, you're driving along and suddenly the ground just erupts. How is this? You know, the enemy seems very invisible. It's a, you know, it's a tragedy that is unfolding every single day. Even right now, as you and I are having this conversation, we're in this incredible film festival, and yet it's unfolding. So I think that, you know, I think people are curious, and I think that's drawing them to the film.
At least, you know, from the film world, for me looking at it, is I've never seen a war film like this. Always you have this big battle sequences, and instead, you know, it's this small little pieces of it.
Well, that's what I'm saying about it's an abstract, it's a conflict that I think required some, perhaps, both analysis and understanding and examination, and we're so lucky to have Mark Bowl, who was on an embed with Bomb Squad in Baghdad in 2004, and had this incredible, wrote this beautifully crafted screenplay, based, you know, on large part, a lot of those experiences that he had there, which were, you know, pretty astounding. And no, the conflict doesn't have a conventional front and rear. And I think, you know, again, the methodology of the insurgency are these bombs that are fought with Radio Shack equipment. I mean, you know, you put one of these things together for $10, $20, and you're fighting a machine like the, you know, military-industrial complex of this country. So it's a very, you really begin to understand asymmetrical warfare, what that means, and what this 21st century combat is really like. You know, it's an invisible enemy, and you're driving along and the ground, you know, suddenly erupts. And it's a very, you know, it's a very disturbing kind of conflict because it's so new.
he's uncomfortable? Is it because you don't like, you keep thinking about how to re-edit it, or?
No. No, I'm
Just reliving the shooting of it, I think.
And it was a very arduous shoot.
It was a bit difficult. I mean, it was very hot, you know, and Jeremy was in that bomb suit. It's a real bomb suit made of Kevlar and ceramic plate. Weighs close to 100 pounds. It's about 115 degrees out, so it was very, you know, you're in the Middle East in the summer, so, you know, obviously we expected it, but...
I'd like to introduce Academy Award nominee director Andy Davis, who knows a few things about action films. So please welcome Andy Davis.
I'm honored to present the Santa Barbara Film Festival Best Director Award to Kathryn Bigelow. Her talent, technique, and point of view are unique in the world of cinema today. Her later journalistic instincts of delving past the headlines into a deeper understanding of issues and events are uncommon in the escapist world of Hollywood. This feminine, sensitive woman has a way with testosterone. She's as comfortable as any director around in the arena of tough guy realities. Amongst the many pictures to deal with the insanity of war and the dilemma we face ourselves in today, Hurt Locker is one of the very few which has garnered such huge praise and attention.